And now, it's time for another Dice Tower review with Tom Vasel.
One of the greatest men who's ever lived is Wilbur Scoville, because he invented a scale in which we can rank hot sauces. When I grew up, I knew that there was Tabasco and jalapenos, which I knew were the hottest peppers ever. I now know that that's not true, that there's habaneros and ghost chili peppers, and there's a world of hot sauces out there. And some people like them, like myself, and some people love them, like myself. Hot sauces are fantastic, and it's a great theme for a game, although this is kind of a weird box cover. But here you're trying to plant the best peppers and have the best chili. Don't get too excited about the theme. The theme's great, but it's essentially just placing cubes and moving stuff. But does that mean it's a bad game? Let's look. In this game, you're trying to have the most points at the end of the game. You're going to do that in various ways. The first person to plant a pepper in different colors is going to get tiles of these types, which are worth points. Points in this game are represented by flames for the flaming, I don't know what it means. Sometimes you can get points for selling peppers. Like this person wants a red and a purple pepper. They'll give you three coins, they'll give you a brown pepper, but they'll also give you a point. And sometimes you'll do chili recipes that give you points. Like here, Born to be Mild is a purple and yellow pepper. You have that, you'll get 3 points. Or Minstrel Molten Mouth. Or here, C18H27NO3. Or Phantom Nom 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 Nom. Okay, each of these needs certain types of peppers, and they give a lot of points at the end of the game. And 3 coins is also worth a point at the end of the game. Now, on a player's, or each round of the game, players are going to start by having an auction. They're going to secretly hold out some coins in their hand, reveal those coins, and whoever has revealed the most can pick their turn order over here. Now, you might want to go first, you might want to go last. That's because whoever goes first gets to pick one of these cards up here first, which will give you free peppers. So if I went first, I might take the purple pepper, and maybe second will take the blue and the yellow, then third takes the double yellows, and fourth place gets just a single red. So you can pick in turn order that. Also, you will plant peppers on your turn. You must plant one of the peppers you have behind your screen next to another pepper on the board. There's no rules about how you plant them other than that. You just simply have to plant them next to one that's already on the board. And after you plant the pepper, if you planted a pepper of whatever color, you'll take the top shield. So the first person to plant a white pepper is going to get 7 points. First person to plant a ghost pepper is going to get 12 points. And one of the cool things is the peppers are actually different heights, so you can differentiate between them. So you can see here that the red pepper is very low height, while the white pepper is extremely high, and these clear ghost peppers are very high as you place these out on the board. After everyone's done planting one pepper, although you can plant 2 if you use it, each person has a tile they can use once per game. If they don't use it though, they get 4 points. Then players are going to place, and this happens in reverse turn order. This is why you might want to go last. You'll place your guy here on the star on the first turn. After the first turn, you start him from wherever he is, and you'll move him up to 3 steps. Each spot you move next to, so let's say I go here, 1 between a yellow and a red, that gives me an orange pepper. All kids know that. But in case you don't, there's a big chart here. So you can see red and red gives 2 reds. Red and yellow gives an orange. Red and blue gives a purple. Red and green gives a brown. There's lots that give browns. And brown with something else doesn't give anything unless it's with another brown or a white and a black. The primary colors here create the secondary colors, green, orange, and purple. Those colors can create blacks and whites. And black and white peppers are the only way they get the ghost peppers later on. And so players are going to try to do these combos. So I move here and get an orange pepper. Then I move here, I go around the corner, and between the yellow and green, I'll get a brown pepper. And then I guess here I would decide to stop. I can actually move an extra step if I use this tile, which again, if I don't use, gets 4 points. Or you can even turn around and go back the way you came when moving. And again, if you don't use that tile, 4 points. Once you're done moving, no one else can move through you or on the same spot you are. So you can block people from getting the peppers that they want. After everyone's done with that, starting with the first person, you do fulfillment, which means over here on the side of the board, you can sell these peppers, put the card behind your screen, get the rewards if you have them, or you can use the chili sauces. While brown peppers are kind of useless out here, chilies use them like this Bump in the Night, which is a chili I highly recommend no one ever use, but it's worth 22 points, and it needs 2 ghosts, 2 browns, and 2 greens. Or this Phantom Nom Nom needs 3 ghost peppers and 2 browns. Or Volcano. And here we have Wilbur's Last Stand, or 5 in the bowl. Or it's Jay's Juicy Morsel Chili, or Chili Chili Bang Bang. So there's all different ones and they're worth points, and you can fulfill one of those. At the end of a round, you see how many of these cards are left or how many chili cards are left, and that can either trigger the afternoon, which brings out better peppers that people can, well, that the high school will give you, and it also brings out the people who want peppers will want different ones. Like, for example, here they want a white and a black. They'll give you a ghost, and they'll give you 5 points. Once those go down below a certain number, which is the number of players in the game, then that's the last round of the game. Everyone adds up all their points, and whoever has the most points is the winner of the game. Now, to be fair, I'm kind of tainted by the fact that I do really enjoy this theme. I love the peppers. I love the fact that they use pepper pieces instead of cubes. They could easily use cubes. I love how the board itself has these pepper holes in it so that they hold the peppers in. I like the names of the chilies, which are really funny. I mean, some of the chilies are rip-offs of movie names or song names or things. Everything, and it flows easily. The whole game is all about that movement. It's about moving your guy on the board. And in a sense, this has some throwback to Power Grid, where in Power Grid, going last can be an advantage. Well, here it's the same thing, but here it's almost an even thing. If you go first, you get to plant your pepper first, you get the first thing at fulfillment, and you get to pick the card first. So that's the 3 advantages. If you go last, though, you get to move first, which is about equal to those other 3 advantages. It really is. Now, the movement is the meat of the game, and you'll see people think for a really long time about how they can move to best get the peppers that they need and to block everybody else. Very interactive game in that way, and the more players who are involved, the more you're going to be blocking and moving in other people's ways, and you will say unkind things about other players because of that. That part can slow down slightly. If there's analysis paralysis, it's going to be in that part of the game. Or sometimes you'll pause because you're like, should I buy this chili or should I do this? But you can't discount it because the game really rewards great strategy and tactical maneuvering. And since there's so many different ways to get points, you want to try to look for what's the best way to get points. Obviously, the first person to plant a ghost pepper gets 12 points. That's way better than a chili recipe. When I look at the recipes here, here's a recipe that has 2 ghost peppers, 2 brown peppers, and 2 green peppers, and it gives you 22 points. Planting that first ghost pepper, it's a big deal. And so that's kind of what everyone's running to, because first, it's like, who can plant a white pepper first or a black pepper? Who can put them next to each other? Who's going to get that ghost pepper? Whoa. I'll tell you, it's kind of stressful sometimes as you're trying to outdo everyone else. Solid, fun Euro game. The theme is refreshing. They tried something different, and I'm so glad for that, because this could have been any game about farming, but it's about peppers. Now, it's also about colors, too. I mean, there's parts of the game that reminds me of the games about colors, and painting and mixing red, yellow, and blue. I don't think there are red and blue peppers that mix together to make purple peppers, but that's okay. I still think the hot pepper theme works. It's interesting. It's intriguing. This chart looks incredibly complicated, but you get it kind of quickly. I mean, it's pretty obvious that red and blue make purple, and 2 blues make, 2 blues. So, I mean, this chart looks complicated, but it's really kind of simple, and I think as time goes by, you'll get it quicker. So it's kind of a thinking man's game. It's a little above medium weight, I would say, but it's easy to teach and learn, and I think it's a lot of fun. Dice Tower Judgment. Approved!
Thanks so much for watching the Dice Tower videos. Find more great videos and reviews, as well as our top-rated audio podcast at Dicetower.com. You can also find other great shows at Dicetowernetwork.com. I'm Eric Summerer, and you've been watching The Dice Tower. The Dice Tower is sponsored by Cool Stuff Inc., where you can find great games for great prices. Cool stuff in stock. Check them out at CoolStuffInc.com.
Shut the door!
There.